So we got Chelsea firing their coach,
Oh, boy.
Thomas Tuchel,
And
hiring Graham Potter.
Graham Potter, yeah.
Do we think it was a good move?
I wanted to ask this to Zach because obviously Zach's been
your favorite team
forever.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I've waited to ask you actually straight up how you felt about this because I have a feeling towards it from an outside view, but obviously you're like balls deep in the club. How do you feel about them sacking Tuchel?
I just think I was. Let's just be real. I remember, look, when it first happened, I woke up 6 a.m, checked my phone. My mom, my dad texted me 6 a.m. Oh my God, Tuchel just got sacked. I was like, what? Look, I think it was an overreaction. I'm not necessarily surprised. In my personal opinion, would I have done it? No. However, I get the reasons from the club why they did it. Because let's be real, they really believe in Graham Potter. That's what is being made out to. Todd Bowley really believes that this is the guy. Look, they literally did this, reportedly, because they felt that they had to, because the England job was going to be calling Graham Potter's name after the World Cup. So, for me personally, I wouldn't have made this move now, because I love Thomas Tuchel. I said it before on this podcast. Look, 100 games at the club, 60 wins, 24 draws, 16 defeats. If that is a record that warrants being sacked, then what manager is ever gonna stay anywhere?
And the fact that you guys have only ever won 2 Champions League, it's like only ever winning the Super Bowl twice.
Exactly.
And he was basically the spearhead of the one of them. Like he's half of the cups they've ever won. And dude, he was only ever given one full season.
Yeah, one full season.
He was given one full season.
I think
barely a half a season.
But I do think that part of this was
definitely uncalled for.
Part of this was just unfair on Thomas Tuchel because of the whole Roman Abramovich having to sell the team. Let's be real. Tuchel was hired by Roman Abramovich, and then all of this kind of happened. Spiraled out of control real fast, and now we're here, Todd Bowley, the new owner. Let's be real. It makes sense for somebody who invested all of that money and who's obviously leading the club going forward to want to pick his own manager and his own guy to lead his project. It makes 100% sense. However, what doesn't make sense is investing $300 million and breaking your transfer record on all of these signings just to sack the manager.
That are Tuchel players. They're signing players for this guy. And
so that's what makes no sense to me.
I just don't trust Todd Bowley, dude. I don't know what, like, obviously, not my club, not my problem. But it's still like, bruh, it's crazy.
You're repping your club.
It's crazy, yeah, bro. It's crazy to me how this guy that comes in that's probably never watched a full game of football until he bought a damn football club. To put himself as the football director, basically he put himself in the role. He finally got an actual football director.
He's hiring one now.
The fact that he's come in and made these, he said he's been thinking about taking Tuchel out for months now. Then why would you sign all the players that he wants?
Exactly,
it doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense, and that's what was the most mind-boggling part for me. Was like, okay, if Todd Bowley's logic was I want to get my own guy to lead my project of Chelsea Football Club, I understand that. Is that unfair on Thomas Tuchel because he just won us the Champions League, led us to other cup finals, he won us the Club World Cup? Let's be real. He won 3 trophies and he probably should have won more.
And
it's unfair to him.
To keep you guys within top 4, because the Premier League, it's so hard to stay in top 4.
For sure.
It's so competitive. He was able to get them to 3rd place. The 3rd best team in England. Is that a sackable offense here? For fuck's sake.
It's unfair to Thomas Tuchel, 100%. Because,
look, when you think about it, when I talked about Liverpool are below Chelsea right now. We're going to talk about it later. They got destroyed by Napoli. So is Klopp going to get sacked?
That's obviously not going to happen.
It's not going to happen at all. So this is another thing I just don't like with football. That a lot of the teams won't back their coaches, even if your coach does something spectacular.
And I know it look, at face value, it seems mind-boggling, this whole situation, especially on the outsider perspective, because Chelsea, this doesn't make any sense because they just get rid of Thomas Tuchel, who just was won in the Champions League.
Yeah,
and then
he had a poor start, but
yeah, I know, but then after this poor start,
Man United's had a poor start,
and you're just gonna cut him, but then a few days later, you've already got Graham Potter. So it's like they knew they were lining this up, and that's why I think that this was just Todd Bowley kind of looking for an easy way out of Thomas Tuchel. Look, I think they might have had some disagreements. You know, they might have just not agreed. And the rumor was that their main disagreement was about Cristiano Ronaldo.
Wanted to sign Ronaldo.
Todd Bowley,
he wanted to sign Ronaldo.
Todd Bowley felt like it was a good idea to sign Cristiano Ronaldo to lead the team going forward, and Thomas Tuchel said no.
And I kind of agree with that. I don't think that would have been a good move.
Exactly.
If they got Ronaldo.
But it's clear that they probably had their disputes, and I think Todd Bowley was just going to look for an easy way out.
He wanted more control of the team.
And
that's all he wanted.
What is an easier way out of Thomas Tuchel than after losing to the Russian league, you know, Spartak or whatever?
Some fucking random ass team.
I don't even remember. I don't even remember the name.
Well, speaking of Ronaldo, I know you guys wanted to speak on it. Oh, what, you still want to speak on Chelsea?
We didn't really get into Graham Potter. We just talked
about going into a little bit about Graham Potter before we get into that. Graham Potter seems like a good manager, but he's still unproven at the highest level. He's never played Champions League.
I was gonna say, what is his experience?
Yeah, he's still a new coach, and that's not to say these new coaches can't be good, but it's
I definitely
compared to a guy of Thomas Tuchel, a guy who's won it and he's played for top teams, and he has his brand of football. And I just thought, even from my outside effect, I felt like it was disrespectful.
I think it's a risk for sure. I mean, let's be real. Graham Potter. If you watch the Premier League, you definitely have seen the performance of Brighton, and you could say, okay, Graham Potter is the reason why this team overperforms. They played good football. They create a lot of chances. And let's be real.
Without him, Brighton are probably getting relegated.
That's what I'm saying. Look,
they're fucking shit.
They're on on value, just on value of what their players will cost. Brighton's is 18th in the league, which is that means there would be a relegation team just based on value. But they're 6th in the league right now.
Yeah, they're
they overperformed last season, and that's why Graham Potter was getting look-ins for the England job. And I think it's a risk when you fire a proven manager like Thomas Tuchel and get a guy with no Champions League experience and no Big Six experience, nothing, no big club experience at all. Is it a risk? Yes, obviously, but I believe that this move is going to work out. I think a Premier League proven manager, I think it's going to work. I don't see no reason for it not to work because it seems as if Todd Bowley is ready to. Well, he's already backed Thomas Tuchel and then sacked him, but it seems as if he's ready to.
He backed him and then.
It seems as if apparently he's ready to break the bank again and break their transfer record again for the new guy. So if they're gonna spend another $300 million on transfers,
hopefully the director of football can actually direct some football and make proper signings. But
I think Graham Potter will do a good job with Chelsea. Is he gonna take them right away, take the league by storm, and go on some magical run? I don't think so. I think it's going to take a little bit of time. This season might end up being a kind of a wash for Chelsea in a sense. Good. But next season, we'll get to see. I just don't want to see no reactionary things about Graham Potter though, because I think it's unfair to judge him based on the rest of this season. Yeah. I think there's a lot of pressure coming off of Thomas Tuchel, and they're going to be like, look, let's just be real. If Chelsea loses that first game with Graham Potter, they're going to be like, okay, well, this was the wrong move. Everyone's going to be thinking that. They shouldn't have done it. Every single person is going to be saying that.
I'm going to say it.
So there's a lot of pressure, but I just don't want to see Graham Potter get scrutinized because I don't think this is his fault. Yeah. Thank y'all for checking out this clip of the Shooter Straight podcast. Please like and subscribe and check out our social medias in the description box below.
Click the logo to watch more clips and check out previous episodes.